Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Not in a crowded room, but when you're completely alone in the dead of night? That's how it started for me. Prickling on the back of my neck, a shadow that moved just a little too fast in the corner of my eye. I lived in an old house, the kind with floors that creaked and pipes that groaned. It was easy to blame the strange noises on the house's age. It's just settling, I tell myself, pulling the covers a little tighter. But the feeling of being observed grew stronger, more persistent. It wasn't just the house settling anymore. It began with small things. My keys wouldn't be where I left them. The TV would switch channels on its own. I'd come home to find a window slightly ajar, even though I was certain I had locked it. I tried to rationalize it all. I was tired, overworked, forgetful. My mind was playing tricks on me. I even bought a new set of locks, reinforcing every door and window, but the unsettling events continued. Then came the whispers. Faint at first, like the wind rustling through leaves, but they were there. I'd be washing dishes, and I'd hear a soft murmur from the other room. I'd pause, strain my ears, but there would be only silence. It was always just on the edge of hearing, a ghost of a sound that made me question my own sanity. One night, I was working late on my laptop in the living room. The only light came from the screen and a single lamp in the corner. The house was utterly still. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked upstairs directly above me, a slow, deliberate sound. Not the random pop of old wood, but the distinct sound of a footstep. My heart hammered against my ribs. I froze, listening. Another creak, closer to the stairs this time, then another. Someone, or something, was walking around in my bedroom. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a cast iron skillet from the kitchen, and crept towards the bottom of the staircase. My hand was slick with sweat. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling. The only answer was silence. A deep, heavy silence that felt more menacing than any noise. I took a deep breath and started up the stairs, my skillet held high. Each step was an agony of suspense. I reached the top, peered down the hallway. My bedroom door was slightly open, a sliver of darkness in the pale moonlight filtering through the hall window. I pushed the door open. The room was empty. The window was locked. Nothing was out of place. Under the bed, nothing. I felt a wave of relief mixed with profound confusion. Was I losing my mind? The next day, I decided I needed proof. I set up a small camera on my dresser, pointed towards the bedroom door. I felt a little foolish, like I was in a low-budget horror movie, but I had to know. That night I tried to sleep, but every creak and groan of the house kept me wide awake. Morning came, and I rushed to check the camera footage. I fast-forwarded through hours of stillness, my finger hovering over the button. Then I saw it. Around 3 a.m., my bedroom door, which I had closed and locked, slowly creaked open. Just an inch. Then another. No one was there. It just opened on its own. My blood ran cold. I watched, mesmerized, as the camera's view shifted slightly, as if something had brushed past it. For the next hour, nothing happened. The door remained ajar. Then, just as I was about to dismiss it as a draft, a shape began to form in the darkness of the doorway. It was tall and unnaturally thin, a silhouette that seemed to absorb the light around it. It had no discernible features, just a long skeletal frame with limbs that were too long, bent at odd angles. It stood there, perfectly still, for what felt like an eternity, just watching. I couldn't sleep in the house after that. Started staying at a friend's place, telling him my plumbing was being fixed. I was too embarrassed, too terrified, to tell him the truth. Who would believe me? But I couldn't just abandon my home. I had to understand what was happening. I spent days researching the history of the house, digging through old town records at the library. I found a story from the 1920s, a small article in a yellowed newspaper. It detailed the strange disappearance of the family who had built the house. The entire family, a mother, a father, and their 2 young children vanished without a trace one night. No signs of a struggle, no forced entry. Their belongings were all still there, dinner half-eaten on the table. They were just gone. The article mentioned local rumors of a shadow man, a tall, thin entity that was said to haunt the woods behind the property. The locals believed it lured people away, that it fed on their presence, their life, until there was nothing left. The description matched what I saw on the camera perfectly. I knew I couldn't go back alone. I contacted a local paranormal investigation team. Again, I felt ridiculous, but I was desperate. 2 investigators, a man named Dave and a woman named Sarah, agreed to help. They arrived with cases full of equipment EMF meters, thermal cameras, audio recorders. As soon as they stepped inside, their devices started going wild. The EMF meter shrieked, its needle jumping into the red. "There's an incredible amount of energy in here," Dave said, his eyes wide. Sarah set up a spirit box, a device that scans radio frequencies, supposedly allowing spirits to communicate. We sat in the living room, in the dark, and Sarah turned it on. A cacophony of static filled the room. "Is anyone here with us?" she asked. The static hissed and popped, and a clear voice came through, a single, chilling word: "Get." The static returned. We all looked at each other. "Get what?" Sarah asked. The spirit box crackled again. Another word: "Out." We moved upstairs to my bedroom. The air was frigid, despite it being a warm night. As we entered, the door slammed shut behind us, making us all jump. We were trapped. Panic set in as Dave fumbled with the doorknob, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if it were welded shut. That's when we saw it. It unfolded itself from the corner of the room, a place of absolute shadow where no shadow should have been. It was taller than I remembered, its head nearly scraping the ceiling. Its long, spindly fingers stretched out, reaching for us. It didn't walk. It glided across the floor, silent and impossibly fast. We were backed against the wall, nowhere to run. The spirit box on the floor screamed, a torrent of words and static. Mine, leave, hungry. It was a jumble of terrifying intent. Dave shone a powerful flashlight at the creature, and it recoiled, letting out a sound that wasn't a scream but a tearing of reality, a high-pitched shriek that made our ears bleed. The light seemed to hurt it. Sarah grabbed another flashlight from her bag and switched it on. Together we held the beams on the entity. It writhed and twisted, its form flickering like a faulty projection. Its featureless face seemed to stare right through us, filled with a cold, ancient hatred. The bedroom door suddenly flew open with a splintering crash. We didn't hesitate. We scrambled out of the room, down the stairs, and burst out the front door, not stopping until we were on the street, gasping for air under the safety of a streetlight. I never went back into that house. I sold it at a massive loss to a development company that planned to tear it down and build apartments. I didn't care. I just wanted it gone. Sometimes I still wake up in the middle of the night, my heart pounding, convinced I can see a tall, thin shadow standing in the corner of my new bedroom. I turn on the light and there's nothing there. But the feeling remains. The feeling of being watched. I know it's still out there, and I know it's still hungry. Some doors are better left unopened, and some houses are better left empty. Because when you stare into the darkness, you never know what might be staring back. Thanks for watching. If you have your own scary story, share it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more chills. Stay safe out there.